Elizondo talks about ontological shock. That and a whole lot more, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, yeah, Lue Elizondo says, ontological shock is very real. I have seen it on the battlefield and in the halls of Congress. The impact on people is real, regardless if one believes in exceptional experiences. Compassion, care, and understanding is what is needed, now more than ever in our world. Remember, as a friend once said to me, impossible is just something we haven't seen yet. Thank you, Jonathan, for bringing this to our attention. And he's commenting, of course, on this article from Unhidden. Unhidden has today published its white paper on the impact of exceptional experiences in the disclosure on mental health and well-being. At its heart is the simple proposition that the UK government should publicly acknowledge that UAP sightings and other forms of exceptional experiences are real, and that the people who are affected need better care and support. The Unhidden white paper makes 5 key recommendations, largely for the UK government. And I'll let you read about those recommendations at your leisure, but really interesting that people are being, galvanized to make these recommendations and talk about this openly and talk about the idea that we should be more accepting of people's experiences and understanding, and we need ways of dealing with that and also with people's ontological shock regarding that. Good stuff. Meanwhile, on Podcast UFO, we are going to get Michael Herrera and Jonathan Wygant talking together. As soon as I heard Mike Herrera's story, I instantly thought of Lance Corporal Jonathan Wygant and his own story. There's a lot of similarities, and it's about time. It's past time for those guys to compare notes, and I can't wait to see the discussion that results. So keep your eyes tuned on Podcast UFO later tonight. Meanwhile, check out this great UFO sighting from France from a couple of years ago. Look at that. Look at that. It just goes right into the mountain, guys. I and others have talked about this before, how these things are truly transmedium, not just going into the water, but into solid stone, into the ground. I saw one go into the ground once. It's crazy. And it was going super fast, too. Now, it's always possible, because I just mentioned Mike Herrera. He talks about a UFO or a vehicle going into a base, a hidden base that was concealing itself as a mountain. But it wasn't a mountain, it was a hologram. So are we looking at a hologram here, or are we looking at a transmedium object that can go from the air into the solid stone of the mountain? Or is it all CGI? Let me know what you guys think. Speaking of cool UFO videos, check this one out by John Bell. Tinkerbell shows up going really fast and going in circles. Look at that. Look at that. Now he slows it down for us, and we get to see that in slow motion. But let's see that again. Let's see that again in real time. All right, Tinkerbell, which is what he calls a particular UFO that shows up for him a lot. This orb-type vehicle, is real playful and shows up for him all the time. And there you go, making these very rapid maneuvers, these circular maneuvers around his laser pointer. Okay, now he's going to slow down for us, and we're going to get to see that in a little slower mo. It's interesting how we're getting this lighting effect over here. But look at that. Yeah, Tinkerbell is just going in circles around his laser pointer, clearly interacting with John himself. I think that's really cool. Great sighting, John. Good stuff. Keep up your awesome videos. I love it. And if you haven't already, go check out his channel, Real Florida UFO, where he has so many of these videos and these interactions with these non-human vehicles. Meanwhile, we've got to talk about this thing, guys. We've got to talk about this thing. We could have the best evidence yet that ancient peoples, like the ancient peoples of Egypt, used machines. Okay, this is wild. This is wild. The CT scan report on thin-walled granite artifacts is back. The X and Y axis of the lip and width vary by less than 1/1000th of an inch, making it perfectly round. Also, it was lathed. The surface deviation proves that. This is the first time that we can conclusively prove that with data. More data will be released in the coming weeks and months. And of course, a lathe is a machine. So either one, the Egyptians made this and we don't know how or what tools they used. 2, a more ancient civilization made this and other precision artifacts. Or 3, it's a forgery. But of course, he doesn't think that it's a forgery. Here, in fact, is the certificate of authenticity of this object. But others, like Carl the Crusher, go even further. Maybe it's not simply a lathe, but a lathe governed by a computer.
For all of the knowledge and insights we have accumulated over the ages, we know of exactly one, and only one, category of things capable of such behavior. The kind of thing that we refer to as a Turing machine. A device capable of taking input, holding state, performing operations on held states according to predetermined principles, and producing output. They come in many shapes and sizes and can be constructed mechanically, electronically, and even pneumatically or hydraulically. And you are most likely using one right now to read this article or to watch this stream. We call this class of device a computer, and no plausible way of representing, operating on, or manufacturing the design of this artifact exists without having access to one such. That's what he's talking about. Like, that's the conclusion you come to with this artifact, and the fact that it can be best represented with a mathematical equation, and then the fact that somebody took that equation and turned it into an analog output in stone. The only way to do that's with a computer.
In this little video here, it takes you through the whole the science that was done on it and what we know about it, and I'll let you watch this full thing at your leisure. But really good stuff, guys. Very compelling. Very compelling. Yeah, there's the lathe. So what is this object? Is this truly evidence that the ancients were using sophisticated computers and machines, or that some prior civilization built this stuff? You know, Atlantis, I guess we're talking about Atlantis, or something akin to Atlantis, or maybe the beings made this. What do you think, guys? What does this represent? Are we simply misreading the cues and, you know, the ancients were capable of amazing stuff? Because of course they were, but are they capable of something like this that can only be understood in modern terms by sophisticated technology? Could they have simply done that under their own power because they were that good? I don't know, guys, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I find this very compelling. Meanwhile, Jon Stewart has a video up showing how the alien interview looked before the dark filter was applied to it by the production company that it was leaked to. The production company got a hold of it, and I guess they didn't like the grainy, blue filter. Maybe they wanted to make it more dramatic or something. So they made it look dark. And it was filmed in darkness, I guess. But it wasn't, the original video didn't have that black tone to it that we are familiar with from that video. It originally looked like this. Meanwhile, on the Good Trouble show, Matt Ford had an interesting guest on, Jim Lowe, and they talked about the likelihood that Mike Turner and others might have received legal bribes to reach the decision they did and the actions they took regarding the Schumer-Rounds amendment.
So you're saying that Congressman Mike Turner and whatever underlings or cohorts he had, there was an uptick in funding to these guys prior to them killing the UAP Disclosure Act?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Wow. All right.
Well, see, you know, you talk about your Swiss cheese knowledge of this subject. I spend more time reading that kind of stuff than I do watching UFO stuff or reading UFO stuff, because it has more to do with where UFO stuff is going.
Well, to be sure, what's going on in Congress right now is hugely important in terms of UFO disclosure. Absolutely 100%. And if people are receiving funding to kill UFO disclosure, obviously that's not good. And kudos to Matt and Jim for exposing this corruption for what it is. Meanwhile, check this out, guys. Check this out. World's first tooth regrowth medicine to be tested in Japan from September 2024. Clinical trials of the world's first tooth regrowth medicine are set to commence in September at Kyoto University Hospital, researchers announced here on May 2nd. Once the medicine's safety is confirmed, it will be given to patients congenitally lacking a full set of teeth to confirm its effectiveness. The researchers hope to commence sale of the medicine in 2030. So it's not imminent, but pretty soon we're going to be able to regrow teeth. Not alien, but interesting. Speaking of cool science, check this out. Near flawless quantum teleportation demonstrated in groundbreaking experiment. Beam me up, Scotty. In a study that seems straight out of a Star Trek episode, an international team of researchers has achieved a remarkable feat in the realm of quantum teleportation. They have successfully conducted near-perfect quantum teleportation despite the presence of noise that typically disrupts the transfer of quantum states. Quantum teleportation is a process in which the state of a quantum particle or qubit is transferred from one location to another without physically sending the particle itself. This transfer requires quantum resources such as entanglement between an additional pair of qubits. And I'll let you read it all at your leisure, but there you go. We're getting closer to regrowing teeth and teleporting. Meanwhile, what the heck is this thing? Apparently this is in a museum in Russia or something. It's got to be a prop, right? This has got to be made for a movie or something, right? But I mean, it is pretty good. I like it. I like it. I mean, it looks good. I mean, could that be real? Are we looking at a real, reptilian being or something? What are we looking at here, guys? Do you have any information on this museum exhibit in Russia? Yeah, and you can hear the crowd in the background.
На дне Черного моря, неизвестный. Как вы думаете, это настоящий?
Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. Probably some sort of prop, but hey, guys, you never know. You never know. Meanwhile, Jaime Maussan tells us about an historical UFO crash retrieval that I had never heard about. Let's give a listen, and it's translated by AI, so it's not Jaime's real voice.
What happened in Mexico? I'll tell you a case for you to research, and there's a book on Amazon for you to look it up. On August 25th, 1975, a small plane took off from El Paso, Texas. One object they had been tracking since the Gulf of Mexico. It is one of those spheres that now look very much unmanned, collided with the light aircraft. An accident may occur. Then they both fell to the ground in the plane and all died. The Mexican army was displaced and recovered this fallen object. He was loaded onto a trailer. USA, he asked for it and asked for it insistently, and President Echeverria said, "Bring it first, we will investigate it, and then we will deliver it to him." And what did they investigate? They did not investigate anything, because on the road in the middle of the mountains, suddenly, the U.S. suddenly informed us that all the soldiers who were in the trailer died in a strange way. We found them dead and had to cremate them because it was dangerous. Maybe they died of a bacterium, and therefore it was not convenient. Then a helicopter arrived. These Apaches grabbed the object and took it away. So tell me about it. What happened?
That's a wild case. American soldiers dying mysteriously. A UFO colliding with a plane. Not the first plane collision that we've heard about. I've reported on a few of those. And Preston Dennett did an excellent video, an hour-long video, detailing many different instances where UFOs have collided with not just planes, but trains and cars. It's crazy. You would think that these things could fly better, but they can't. They can go through dimensions, but they can't fly in a straight line. I don't know what's going on. Now, of course, one theory that I've heard is that the Earth's electromagnetic field is unstable, and these objects, which surf on the electromagnetic waves, have trouble with our field. So that could explain why they are sometimes so unstable as to crash into our vehicles. But yeah, definitely, an example of how these objects can be dangerous without intending to be. I assume this object was not intending to collide with the plane. Either way, a tragic case. but a fascinating one and a great example of the U.S. coming in and covering this stuff up. So, thanks, Jaime, for letting us know about this amazing case. Last but not least, what should be a periodic reminder from Ross Coulthart that Congress knows.
Congress has heard evidence from witnesses about the program, about aliens.
They know, guys. Congress knows. They have the evidence. What are they going to do with it? Let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store or becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.